turn this thing off. Hi, welcome to the garden today, and as you can see next to me is Jeffrey Goldstein of Ripecolor, so you can find his site.
Hola.
And Jeffrey and I are going to do the candles today, and turn the sound off my phone so you don't have to listen to Bewitched all through the whole hour, half hour, whatever we're going to do. Anyway, for those of you who haven't been here before, well, let's get a couple viewers, and then we'll talk about who hasn't been here before. I realize it's Saturday afternoon, and I don't know where you are, but man, I woke up. It was in the 40s
Really?
this morning. Yeah. Yep. Skywalking with Moon is here. Yay, Dr. Gail. And let's see, and Jackie's here. Oh, live. Yes, this one's live. This is not a premiere. I'm kind of screwing it
Look
up
at
on
us
you.
move.
Yeah, we,
Live.
we can move and we can answer your questions during the whole thing. It's really sad when it's a premiere and people going, "Oh, I wanted to ask you," and I'm like, I'm not really here. I mean, the person on the screen is days ago, not that many days ago. Anyway, they're starting to come in.
I've
Yep,
been
another.
mentioning it a lot.
Huh?
I've been mentioning it a lot.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. Jeffrey very generously mentioned that he would be here. I sent out a little notice. And yes, dear. Oh, and I want to compliment Jeffrey. You know how he says he makes scarves. He made this wonderful scarf I'm wearing. It's so lovely. And I was just telling him I woke up this morning and it was in the 40s. And so I have a reason to wear a scarf. Normally this time of year you're still in your t-shirts and sweats. Hi Juno. Hi Bronx Sage. Live from the Bronx.
Cool.
Was listening to us. So you got virtually a neighbor. Andrea, Medium, Kim, Copeland's here. Anyway, so we're getting enough people. We can start kind of the spiel. That's at the beginning of this. And if you've been under a rock or haven't watched the show before, this round of 9 red candles, came to me when virtually like a week ago, when I realized this is like the fastest October anyone's ever had. The time is just moving ahead, and you keep thinking this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And right now we're at the point where the planets are starting to go direct again, and we're really starting to feel the break of that energy. And we are in a very accelerated time, and I wanted us to have this ceremony because what I saw in my mind's eye is I've always thought of time like it's a timeline. You know, you're going along and it's like a black and white timeline in a history book. But this is not a timeline like that. This is a timeline that's multi-dimensional, multi different colors. Rainbows of information are coming down on us. I've always kind of lived in a multi-dimensional world. I got in trouble one time in grade school for saying that time was not on a line, it was a big bubble. And I got in trouble, and my dad came back to school with me the next day and said to the teacher, "She just sees things differently. Leave her alone." But normally when I think about time, I think of it in a line. But right now I really feel like we're all in this big bubble. And I know for many people that I've been reading and talking with, it's been very disorienting. So we're going to try and take the energy in our body, clear our minds, do 3 deep breaths, breathe it in and out. We're going to light the candles, and we're going to envision ourselves going into that multidimensional bubble, and what can we do, and how can we find that peace? Because I think as some of these changes accelerate and we get pulled into different reactions, this is a place to get centered and feel love, because the agents of chaos can only work with us when they can separate us, and they can separate ourselves from our own spirit. So that's kind of what this is about. And everybody's still saying hi over here, so and Jeffrey's saying hi. I'm gonna lower my. Do you have candles to light, Jeffrey?
I do. I do. Um, I do. I'm very excited. Wait, wait.
It's like a birthday cake when you're
Oops.
little.
Look.
Aha!
Whoa.
Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm going to, before we light the candle, don't. We're going
Okay,
to
I'm ready.
take
I'm ready.
3 deep breaths. Take a deep
Oh
breath in,
yes.
hold, and exhale. Take another deep breath in, hold it, and exhale. And this time, think of your breath going into your heart, into the heart space. Hold it there, and think of yourself as exhaling out anything that you don't need, that's unnecessary, harm, that's harmful. So now we're going to light the candles, and we light these candles to connect with our spirit and energy, with the positive changes, find peace within our hearts, and have the energy to flow into the universe. Each of us has our own energetic rainbow. Friday, Saturday. Now, Jeffrey lights all the candles. I only light the candles
I'm
up to today.
enthusiastic. I'm
That's
enthusiastic. What can I
Yes,
say?
he's enthusiastic. So he's doing this. And so while Jeffrey's lighting the rest of his candles, this is the stone I chose to be at the center of the candles this year. God, that's a lot of heat comes off those. It's a peacock stone, and if you put it around, you can see there's all different shades of blues and purples, and some of them have pinks, and some go all the way to golds. And that's peacock stone. That's done by nature, not by a human hand. And it's a marvelous stone because it represents all of the chakras. So now it's talent time.
Oh, look at how beautiful I look in
Oh,
candlelight.
you do. You do. Anyway, at this point, I ask the person who's chosen to come and be part of the candles with me today to kind of talk about how they feel about the candles. We've had people talking about spirit and heart. We've had colors. We've had. I think I'm there.
Me. Uh-oh.
Okay, we're
Hello?
back. We're back.
Are we back?
Yeah, they never went away from you.
I can't
You're the
hear
only
you.
one. I'm muted? Oh, okay.
I can't hear anything.
Okay. I'm unmuted.
Oh, good. Okay. It came to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, just go to there's a dollar store. It's like a block from my house. It's been there 10 years. It's a really not good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I never go there. Never. I think in the 10 years that it's been there, I think I've been there twice. Once to get like scotch tape, and one time,
Yeah.
And there all the red candles were. There they all were. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm really supposed to do this. And then I saw that you had like the little minis. So as you're doing the first ceremony, I took out a knife and I'm sawing away.
It's okay. Kim Copeland had 2 tall ones, and Danny Danny only had 1 candle. And you haven't missed it yet. Danny will be tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I pre-taped some of these because trying to get 7 psychics in the same room is like herding cats, guys. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, that makes sense. But we were talking about we're like synchronicity. Synchronicity is just what synchronicity is for me. It's really about being in my body
Mm-hmm.
right now. Because if I'm here in my body and in my mind and in my heart right now, I'm open to everything that's around me.
Right.
This is how I read cards. That's how I read cards. That's how I paint.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I kind of really live my life. I'm in the middle of something, and like a bird will fly by or an idea will come, and it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Because to me, it feels like the universe is very efficient. It doesn't waste any time, and it doesn't waste any energy, and it's very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like a little factory or a big
Right.
factory. So my job is to show up at the factory and put on my little factory hat and be in whatever section I'm supposed to be in. And I could switch sections.
I understand.
And well, I know, but sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to work in a factory. Um, and yeah, it's kind of like you're not working in the factory, you're of the factory. You are
Right.
the factory, and the factory is you.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's what like synchronicity is really about. It's about knowing that I'm not separate from myself, from my body, from my heart, from my mind. I'm not separate from the world. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not separate from God. I'm not separate from spirit. I'm not separate from others. It's all one big giant birthday party,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And some days my job is to be the cake, and some days my job is to be the candle, and some days my job is to be the birthday hat or the birthday person
Mm-hmm.
or the one who baked the cake or whatever.
Right. And they all have to be there to make it go.
Right, right. Because otherwise it's not a party.
That's right.
Right. Otherwise, we need, because it's a big party. We have the hats and we have the noisemaker things, and we have the kids jumping up and down, and the brothers and sisters who blew out the candles before you
It
made
was
your
supposed to be
wish.
done, right? Well,
It's a
good.
whole conflama, and what a pleasure it is to be alive.
Yeah.
Really, what a pleasure it is. And so what happened when you started mentioning this, it just went off. Sometimes you hear something, this is going to be or that's going to be, and everyone's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I think I'm going to, go have
Mm-hmm.
Chinese. But this was like, oh yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I was, and so I ran out and got my red candles,
Mm-hmm.
and and also, just well, first of all, like Kim was talking about the red. Red is really important. Red is really about connecting to the earth and being safe.
Mm-hmm.
Being safe in your body on the earth, safe in your physical body on the earth in the space that you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I'm in a place of safety, I can't really create anything because I'm in conglomerate drama about what's going to fall on my head or what's going to, etc. So it's really important to find a safety inside yourself in order to um, in order to be in tune with the energies that are around, you know?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people out there that their fear is their separation from any sense of safety,
Yeah,
any sense of order.
right, right. So, I talk about meditation a lot, and when you talk to like your average person about it, their first question is always, how long does it take? As long as it takes is how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, it's like, well, how long does it take to make tuna fish salad? Well, it depends. Did somebody call me on the phone while I'm making it? It's going to take me longer. Did I add onion and pepper and da da da? It's going to take me longer. I can't
Mm-hmm.
find the mayonnaise. And some days it's sort of like, I'm not even doing mayonnaise. Here's a little lemon and I squeeze some and yeah, like I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
So how long does it take to make tuna fish salad? I don't know. It depends on the day. As long as it takes, this is right.
Well, the actual meaning of the word meditate means to become familiar with. So how
Yes.
much do you know or not know about something,
Right.
and how far do you have to get in till you feel you really know it?
Right. Exactly. And for me, I don't look at it as a chore. I look at it as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gift. So it's the gift that I give myself to slow down. It's the gift that I give myself to observe, to just be with myself, with the world. I do a lot of energy work too, so
Yeah.
I move energy all the time. Or I witness energy being moved all the time. But what's happened is because I've been doing it a long time, and I don't do it because, oh, I'm so spiritual. Oh, I'm so spiritual. You're not spiritual. I do it because I have to do it. I do it because I have to do it. For
Mm-hmm.
me, it's like try and survive without water.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. Like I can't. Or try to survive without food or
Mm-hmm.
without sleep. Like that's what it's really become for me. And in the long-term benefit for me has been one of the great long-term benefits has been having an objective observer. So I'll be in the middle of something, and I'll be in the middle of some sort of anxiety or fear or distrust or whatever. And I'm able to step away for a moment from myself and say, have you had this reaction before? Is what you're feeling just a feeling, or is it a message?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to, step back and sort of think about it for a minute and feel it for a minute so that I can make a more informed decision.
Right.
A more informed decision about what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Maybe the action is non-action. Maybe the action is just sit back and watch. The other thing I wanted to say kind of about synchronicity is God is always on time, but she's never early.
Rarely.
It's like, I'm all prepared, I'm all prepared, I'm all prepared. And it's like, dinner is at 7, it's at 7,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not at 6:59 and not at 6:57 and it's not at 7:10, it's at 7. But my idea of what 7 is and Spirit's idea of what 7 is might be two different things. Maybe they do numbers in a different order on different realms. I have no idea.
You're preaching to the choir. My first son was due on Valentine's Day. He came March 13th.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me Labor Day.
No, that would have been even weirder. No, it was bad enough. And they kept saying, oh, you didn't know how to count. You got your days off. I said, no, I didn't. And the second day he was in the nursery, he lifted his head, which is what month-old babies do. So the nurses came in and said, oh, you did know how to count. He just,
Right.
And he has been, in his 45 years, he's rarely been on time. Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, I think trust me, when you're pregnant like that, you get very philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
Because what are you going to do? I mean, they have tests now and things they can run, but at the time, it was 45 years ago, they just let you sit there till that kid came out.
It's funny that you should talk about that because I feel like the collective is pregnant right now.
It is.
I feel like, and not only are we pregnant, but we're really toward the end of it. And I don't know when that baby is coming, but it's definitely more on the way than oh, let's paint the room because I think I'm pregnant. It's definitely more like, do we have the doctor all put together? It's more there. I feel.
Well, right now you've got sort of the planets and the big ones, the little well, and everybody knows Mercury retrograde, which is Mercury gets blamed for a lot, but on Monday, Jupiter and Mercury both go to direct within an hour of each other.
Yeah, it's all.
They're all moving, and then Neptune's ready to come back then, and Uranus and Taurus, which it can go direct anytime it wants because it's sitting on my natal sun. Get off me. Move. But I keep looking at the sky, and if a friend is an astrologer, I said, can you pedal any faster? And she said, they move when they move. They're big things. And
Exactly. But it feels like, you know what I feel like? I feel like everything that's happened since, I don't know if I could say the word, what's going on globally. I feel like.
You mean the big brown card?
Yeah. I feel like that whole energy and that whole lesson and that whole experience is like going through a sieve, and now we're going to get what we got from it, right? It's almost like alchemy, right? We're going to burn it down to its essence, the good and the bad, and get a new something.
It's crazy.
That we're just about to like have a little ceremony, a little birthday party, and
Yes.
Or bathe in, or whatever you want to do with it. I feel like we're right there.
Yeah, and I think that's the energy we're all feeling. And I know that
Yeah,
you talk to astrologers, they'll give you this date, they'll give you that date. But I think by Christmas, all the big points will have been crossed. And then we're
yeah,
set up into a whole new cycle. But it's going to be moving in a happier mode.
yeah.
This
I
has
agree.
been,
I agree.
this was take you out of everything you knew so you could look
Yeah,
at it, see what you wanted to cast off. So if you're
right.
trying to get rid of stuff, now is the time to start letting it go.
Yeah,
But with regards to the loving space inside your own heart, if people could learn more about, you create your day. What do you tell your body first
right,
thing, oh my god, this is a miserable badass world, I don't want to be part of it,
right,
or wow, what can happen today? And even if you don't even have to say bright and shiny, just say what can happen today and just be accepting of whatever it is.
right.
It's when we think we're in charge that we're in trouble.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the way I came to meditation is sort of like, people like, oh, it's like I tried everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was in the back of the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I tried everything. Oh, you're so spiritual. I'm not spiritual. It's like, yes, you are. You're here.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, you know how to do all this stuff. Well, damn, I've been doing it for 60 years. I started when I was 12 on when I can pinpoint and say, I knew this was going on. And you just kind of vacuum up the information you do. Now, I could have rejected it. I could have walked away from it. I could have said, man, that's kind of nuts.
Right.
But,
Well, whatever you put effort into will, eventually become a skill or a habit or
mm-hmm,
understanding. I mean, it's the same everything we do in our lives,
mm-hmm,
right? You become a better driver, you become a better cook, you become a better singer. The more you practice,
that's right.
that's pretty simple.
Yeah, and you can't listen to those other voices in your head. It has to be part of this exercise, the 3 deep breaths. What happens in that exercise, and you can do 3 or 5 or 6 or however many you want. But what happens is when you breathe into your heart, you actually change the chemistry of your brain. And
Yeah.
they've studied this. You go from being reactive, which is what you have to be if you're driving down the expressway. Don't do 3 deep breaths if you're driving in traffic.
Yeah, they're
You
really,
need to
really
be
important.
reactive.
Yeah,
But we don't need to be on that tenterhooks all the time. So 3 deep breaths pulls us back into ourselves and makes us responsive.
hmm,
And it actually changes the part of your brain that your thoughts are being filtered through.
right. And the other way, and I'll just say this for me, this is the queen and this is the general. The
Mm-hmm.
queen is in charge. It is her birthright to be in charge. The queen needs to be in charge of the country because if you allow the general to be in charge, there's going to be a coup. And it's not in the best interest of the queen sometimes.
No.
Queen, not just me, my heart,
Yeah, I understand it.
has to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the real intelligence comes from. This is the real intelligence. This is serves.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to serve, not vice versa. It's great when they align and they get together and they come up with a plan. We're going to hit it from this end and that end. It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's the way you win a war. Sometimes we're going to get the enemy from here, and we're going to get them from there too, right?
But what's going to be wonderful is when we get in that space where things don't have to be a black and white, yes, no, win, lose duality, where the pieces of us can come together
Right.
and learn to do the moderate thing.
Yeah.
The not I have to have everything I want it just the way I want it now.
Yeah.
That spoiled little 3-year-old child that all of us have hiding in us somewhere.
Yeah.
So were you going to pull a card for us, sweetie?
Oh
Since
yeah.
that's your
So
thing.
I have I don't use these often. Someone gave them to me, but every so often, it's the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards,
Hmm.
and
Who
they're
wrote it?
hard to
Who
shuffle.
created it?
Doreen Virtue.
Oh, okay.
For her,
Yeah.
yeah, she
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
around at all. This is the one,
She was a lesson in duality.
indeed. Guinevere, True Love.
Oh, cool. Whoa.
Oh yeah, nice. Isn't she pretty?
Ooh, yeah.
My hair used to look like that, but that's another life. The romantic stirring in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. Not the
Me?
reading I thought I was going to.
That's okay.
Oh, Lancelot. Well, she's very, it's interesting because the color, it's like a pinkish, but it's like a brownish pink. It's almost like a very dark blush.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the color of the heart, but very earthbound as well.
Right.
Very earthbound. Okay. Yeah. Allow the true love.
Yeah. And if that
Allow the
true
true
love,
love.
and that true love's going to start with you really loving yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Um, yeah, because whatever you're putting out is what you're going to reflect and
Right.
receive.
That's the vibrations we're trying to raise.
Yeah.
And we're trying to all connect our vibrations together because that means there's a bigger mass of people believing in the spirit of freedom, the spirit of love, the spirit of light
Mm.
against the masters of chaos who are trying to drive us away from each other.
I agree. I agree. And your community is out there, even though if you feel isolated for talking to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how we all connect online now. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. I've been able to connect with people not only in the United States and Canada, but in Europe and in Asia. And it's like, oh, it's amazing. So let's take advantage of this. That the technology can be meant for good or not good.
Right.
So let's use it for good, right?
Yes. Use it to plan large groups of people loving each other instead of the other option that might be out there.
Yeah, yeah, and I do. So my basic sensation is I go into my heart every day and I light it with joy, and I radiate the joy, and then I send that down to the earth. Well, I radiate it down to the earth, and I receive back and forth. It's this like loop going on, and then I send it up to the angels in the higher realms, and this loop going on, and then I just. And it's the energy of love, joy, abundance, clarity, hope, because they're all really the same energy. They might
Yeah.
be um, like different values of pink or green or whatever, but it's all the same energy.
It's all the parts of our highest selves.
Yeah.
I want you to know chat rooms going nuts. They love you, Jeffrey.
Oh, thank you.
They love me for bringing all these people on, but today they're focusing on loving Jeffrey.
Oh, is my true love out there? Is anyone named Lancelot by chance?
No, they're all actually pretty much girly names here, Jeff. Sorry.
So I'm ready to leave the king.
Okay, well, it says, hi, Jeffrey. Ripecolor is on everyone's night. And then someone said it feels so helpful. This has been so helpful to her because she's felt so restless. I did the 3 deep breaths and I can do it again. You can do it anywhere. Like I said, don't do it when you're driving in traffic.
Right.
Because that's not a good thing. So I want to thank Jeff for coming. And I put in the notes on this show. Tomorrow will be Danny Shay. And it's a premiere, so I'll be on live with it. Danny might be, he's working that out. And that means the first time it's shown at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We can be in the chat room with you. Monday, my show will be being taped on Linda G's channel, and she's
nice.
going to cut it. We did it early enough in the day that if tech support isn't in some giant meeting saving the world, he'll be down here taking that tape and putting it on my channel. But we're going to do the 9 candles because she was fascinated with that. And then that shows, I'm not going to be interviewing Linda G about Linda G. What she said to me the other night when we set this up is she doesn't understand what I do with crystal rocks, grids, and all that stuff. So she wants an education on that. Then Tuesday is Skywalking with Moon. Dr. Gail's going to be here, and she's going to talk about her awakening and her coming to understand her true-centered self. And then Wednesday is, I know for sure it's Kim Carey from Intuitiview. She also may have Debbie Freebird with her. And we're going to do it live. That will be alive. And then Thursday, the closeout of this is going to be done with Dorothy Morgan, NH Astrologer, and it will be alive. So, and she's going to talk about what we've just been through astrologically and how it's breaking out. And so, why creating a safe space for all of us and viewing ourselves. We're going into a new multidimensional understanding of the world. I mean, it's like get on the ride anywhere you can. If you can only, if your
Right.
multidimensionals are only 3 different points, that's fine.
Right.
If yours is 1,000 points of light, good. That
Right.
was back in the 70s, wasn't it? Anyway, we need to work on this, but that's kind of the schedule for the rest of the week. And I thank everyone who's shown up so far. I thank all the people who have been the guiding lights on this. The other thing is for the people who own my garden, and I know that I saw several names in here that I bought the garden and actually took the garden classes for me. We're hoping by Monday to have those classes up where you can go and review and check. And if you're interested in the garden, you can look at them and see if this is maybe a tool you want to work with. So,
And can I just say one really quick thing?
sure.
If you don't have a grid from Nancy Jean, you have to get a grid. I have the grid and I have it up on my wall, and it came in and it just changed everything. So it was like almost talking to me, and it told me kind of what to do, and I reorganized everything in my house. I have Virgo rising, so I really like reorganizing stuff.
Yeah,
It's kind of
okay.
my thing. And my living room is my studio where I work.
Right.
It is so efficient now, and it's so easy, and I have so much more room, and I know where everything is. It's so much more of a pleasure to work, and it's like it opened that whole thing up for me.
Well, you need to send that grid back to me because I could definitely use it.
I'm
But
selling photos.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, no, grids are incredible things, and they hit people at the time in their lives they're supposed to hit them and work with them. And I'm finishing up 4 grids, but once I show the grid, if you've even thought you might want a grid, I really, quite honestly, because of one other channel I was on it once with the grids, and I sold 90 grids. And I
Right,
build them all myself. That's all my handwork.
right.
So if you've been thinking about a grid and thought, oh, I maybe want one for Christmas, it is October, guys. So if you want one, get in now.
Yes.
And if
Grid
not,
away. Gritty, gritty, gritty,
yes,
grit.
and we still have gardens, and for the 10 suffering people who are still waiting on the eggs, I'm supposed to find out early next week about the final. I've sent them little stones to play with.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
my weird eggs that you probably don't know anything about, and that's fine because I don't want any more people know about the eggs. We thought we had them done in May, and people bought some in May, and 10 got made, and then the
Is
artist.
egg like like a stone that has that shape, sort of?
It's a
Like
chakra. It's a chakra in the center
oh,
of an
it's
egg.
beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. And that's a
That's
faulty one. That's not one that anyone could use. But the woman who was fabricating for me didn't understand about how to work with acrylic, and she almost killed herself. That's true. I mean, came upstairs and looked really pale, and her son took her to the emergency room, and she'd almost poisoned herself with it. So I went to a real place that manufactures them. No one's going to die in the manufacture of these eggs. Oh,
yeah. We should we should do a commercial.
I just should have stayed reading cards, kids.
That'll come up on the bottom. No one died in it.
It's not funny. I mean, and she's a lovely lady, and it would just not have been fair. But anyway, so now we're going to lower the candles. We're going to blow them out.
Oh, well, okay. There, they're blown out.
Hey.
I put a citrine in the middle of mine, and I
Oh,
also
cool.
put I found him. He sort of showed up. Shiva. He
Oh,
dances the dance of creation and of destruction and creation.
that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're not, we're trying to create and build and bring and make things happen. And I
And
want to,
I try to tune in at 2 o'clock New York time every day. I couldn't yesterday, but I try to. And if not, I do it at 2:30 or 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock or whatever.
well, I like, where are the eggs? The eggs are being manufactured in Madison, Wisconsin. Somebody said, I'm in
They're,
Wisconsin.
they're
Can
in
I
the
go
store
get
at
an egg?
Sally. They're in the stork's belly.
Mm. And it says, thank you. Somebody said that there's several people who said they've had a lot of weird energy running around their bodies, and coming here is helping them
Good.
center and get away from that. And I'm
Good.
so glad. Just
Good.
blank your mind, think about this lovely community, think about all the rainbows running through it. How could you not think of rainbows when you see what's behind Jeffrey?
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, bye bye. Say bye bye, Jeffrey. Bye bye.